Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court of India has in fact ruled in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party as far as the Chandigarh Mayor elections are concerned. The Supreme Court, a bench that's led by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, has said that the AAP candidate, who is Kuldeep Kumar, will be the mayor of Chandigarh now. I remember this matter of Chandigarh mayor elections have been going on for the past couple of weeks. There have been a slew of allegations and pretty concerning charges, as well as of the returning officer, the polling officer at that time, who's defacing ballots that were in favor of a political party. So I'll quickly take you through what the court has said and what it means going forward. So first, the CJI has said that it is evident that the presiding officer made a deliberate attempt to deface the 8 ballot papers as pursued by this court. Now, it said that the Aam Aadmi Party is the winner of the Chandigarh mayor elections. Now, I'll take you through what this matter was exactly. A lot of people viewed it with a lot of interest because it concerns polling, voting, which is a critical part of our democracy. So we'll start with January 30. January 30 was when the voting took place for electing the new mayor of Chandigarh. The results came out that day. 36 votes were, there were a total of 36 votes. There was the AAP candidate and there was the BJP candidate, the two candidates who were contesting to become the mayor of Chandigarh. Now, out of 36 votes, 12 were given to the Aam Aadmi Party. 8 votes were invalidated by the returning officer. Now, the role of this returning officer is very crucial, which I'll come to in a moment. But what we are picking now is 12 was what the Aam Aadmi Party got, 8 votes were invalidated, and the remaining went to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, a clipping of this entire incident of the votes being counted, of the chaos that ensued among councillors went viral. But the biggest moment was actually captured on camera when the poll officer was seen defacing the ballots. Votes that were cast by councillors. Viral footage, in fact, showed that the returning officer at that time, who's Anil Masih, he was defacing, he was adding an X mark. He could be seen scribbling on some of the ballots, which then were left. In fact, as things turned out, those 8 votes were categorized as invalid. Then, like I said, the video went viral of the returning officer defacing some of these ballots. Then the matter went to the Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court of India, in fact, in the first hearing itself, it said that this is a murder of democracy. This was remarks by the Chief Justice of India. This was a bench that was hearing the matter, and the CJI said that this was a murder of democracy. Now, so once the video was out of the returning officer who was seen defacing the ballots, there were a lot of accusations. And in fact, amidst all of this chaos, it was the BJP candidate who was made the mayor in a very hurried fashion. There are videos circulating on social media. One could see that the BJP candidate was hurriedly installed as the next mayor of Chandigarh. Then questions were raised as to why these votes were invalidated, as to what was the role of the returning officer, why was he fidgeting with the ballots. So this happened on Jan 30th after the voting was done. Then, like I said, the Supreme Court said that this was a murder of democracy. Cut to Monday, that's yesterday, a day before that, that's Sunday. On Sunday night, the mayor of BJP resigned. The BJP mayor of Chandigarh, he resigned. And this was just a day ahead of the Supreme Court hearing. Then what we also saw, 3 AAP councillors switched sides. They crossed over to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Then on Monday, the hearing took place where the Supreme Court pulled up the returning officer, Anil Masih, his name is. And there's a video from the court, which we've also put up on our channel, of Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, firing a volley of questions at what exactly was Mr. Anil Masih trying to do with the votes there. Like the footage now infamously shows that Anil Masih was defacing the ballots, and there's a screenshot of him looking at the camera that was installed nearby. The Supreme Court asked what was he doing there, and there Anil Masih admitted to fidgeting with the ballots and defacing them. Now, that happened yesterday. Then today, in the remarks that the CJI made before eventually passing the judgment, it said that in the interim, the candidate who succeeded in the polls has tendered resignation, and the setting aside of the election process is a wider relief. We are of the view, that is the Supreme Court is of the view, that setting aside the election process itself would not be proper, since the issue is only when presiding officer made the counting. We have a considered view that this court is duty bound under Article 142 to do complete justice and ensure the process of electoral democracy is not allowed to be thwarted by such subterfuges, and it would undermine the edifice on which our democracy depends. After this, the Supreme Court said it set aside the result which we saw earlier, in which we saw the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate winning and becoming the next mayor of Chandigarh. The Supreme Court set aside all of that. After examining ballot papers that it had ordered to come to court, to be brought to court today, it said that those votes that were invalidated, 8 of them, all of them were for the Aam Aadmi Party candidate. And after examining all of this, the Supreme Court said that it is Kuldeep Kumar of the Aam Aadmi who will now be the mayor of Chandigarh. In fact, what the court also said, that, like I said, the 8 votes which were treated as invalid by making those markings, counting the 8 votes for the petitioner will make him have 20 votes. So like I said, it's the simple maths here that 12 votes were for the Aam Aadmi Party candidate officially, 8 were invalidated, and the rest for the Bharatiya Janata Party out of 36 total votes. The Supreme Court said all 8 of those votes that were defaced or that were fidgeted by the returning officer are now valid, and hence, as a result of that, 12 plus 8, which brings the total to 20 out of 36 votes are for the Aam Aadmi Party candidate, and hence it's the Aam Aadmi Party who will now, or the Aam Aadmi Party candidate rather, who will be the next mayor of Chandigarh. But there are a few questions that still remain after this as to what about those 3 AAP councillors who switched sides in between? What about them? Because, like they said, they were fascinated with the development plank of Prime Minister Modi, and hence they were quitting the Aam Aadmi Party and switching sides to the BJP. What about them? Was it stand disqualified? Does the anti-defection law kick in? We'll have to wait for all of this. But at the moment, the big news that came in was that the Supreme Court has set aside the previous result of the Chandigarh Mayor elections where the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate won, and it has now declared the Aam Aadmi Party candidate Kuldeep Kumar as the new mayor of Chandigarh. In the context of what happened in the last few weeks, this is a setback to the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Aam Aadmi Party is now hailing this verdict. It said that this is a victory of democracy, as the CGI said that the incidents within the Chandigarh, during the polling of the Chandigarh mayor, were controversial and that this was a murder of democracy. The Aam Aadmi Party now says that this, that is overturning the earlier verdict, is now a victory of democracy. That's all we have on this live. Thank you so much for tuning in.